What's up, y'all? Capone Tony here, and welcome to another Ever Crisis video. So it is content update day in Ever Crisis. We got a pretty beefy update, a lot of things going on here, but the thing I'm going to be focusing on for this video in particular is the new featured banner, and that is 2 weeks in a row with a featured banner. Weapons that can be wishlisted. More of this, Happy Black. Please, come on. I'm glad y'all are chilling with the limited banners for now, but here we go. We got Cid and Lucia. Very interesting combination. So we're going to start with Cid. He has his Dragoon costume. I think this one was kind of rumored for a while. Looks okay. The color scheme is kind of boring in my opinion. This brownish purple. I don't know. I think it looks fine. I think they could have done more with this, to be honest. I think they should have went more on the purple side. So kind of like Cecil from FF4, but I don't know. I think this is okay. So, Dark Flyer. You get physical and magic ward. Magic physical and magic defense plus 15%. Always great to have on a costume. Double defense. Absolutely take that. And then you get Levinspell Arcanum. So you get lightning ability damage plus 30%. And then when your attack stance is maxed, you get an extra 20% magic ability damage. So this is something they kind of introduced with these during the half anniversary event, is these new Arcanum costumes that not only give you elemental damage, but they also give you boost to attack stance. So yeah, lightning magic, that pretty much means his weapon, the Dragoon Lance, is a magic lightning weapon. So at OB0, the Spark Stick attack does 420% magic lightning damage AoE. Also, when you are 50% HP or more, lightning resist is decreased. Low goes to mid. When buff is granted on Cid, you do 1.2 damage. So, okay, so it's kind of like one of those Sephiroth type of weapons, right? Kind of does damage while also doing utility as well. Our abilities, 32 and 15 for magic attack and lightning potency at OB1. Magic attack, sigil boost, pretty standard stuff. And now it does 480%. It goes from 420 to 480. A little extra duration, low to mid still on the lightning resist buff, or debuff. OB6, 590% on the lightning damage. And now it goes mid to high. 1.2 on the buff. Yep, that stays the same. And then OB10, you're getting 670%. And it is, yeah, mid to high. And you get magic attack 46, 39 on a magic attack lightning potency. Pretty standard R abilities. And yeah, 674 magic attack. Pretty decent. And yeah, pretty much 670 times 1.2. I think it was like 804%. So yeah, pretty much 800% AoE damage with the ability to debuff the enemy's lightning resist at the same time. So yeah, it's pretty much very similar to a lot of other weapons that we have pretty much from Sephiroth. He's gotten a lot of these type of weapons. So if we go into like Sephiroth's kit, you immediately think of something like Tempest, 700% physical water damage with water resist decreased. Blue Bramble, 700% magic earth damage with earth resist is decreased. Then you have Withering Blaze, 700% damage, 1.2 multiplier with fire resist, low to high. So very, very similar weapon here for Cid. But this one is magic lightning, and the kind of the power creep on this compared to like Sephiroth's weapons is that it also does AoE now. So not only are we doing that utility, but we're also hitting all the enemies at the same time. Not only with just the lightning damage, but with also the debuff as well. So you're doing AoE magic lightning, AoE lightning resist down. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, 800% AoE. Yeah, it's pretty much a Sephiroth type of weapon, Sephiroth type of build. Somewhat weaker on the DPS side, but also it kind of makes up for it by doing resist down at the same time. So yeah, overall, it's a pretty solid kit for Cid. Magic Lightning is somewhat rare in this game. So yeah, if you're looking for a decent Magic Lightning setup, I think this is a pretty good one. The only other featured Magic Lightning weapon that has a costume to go with it is Vincent's, his Halloween one. I think Angio also has a magic lightning weapon, but he's not really a DPS character. That is another thing, though, about this, these builds here. We're talking about Cid right now. He is a character that is not an attacker. He is a support character, right? Based on his like stream, his overdrive or whatever OD stream. So he's not getting a big physical attack boost from when you hit that that overspeed button. Yeah, it's overspeed. When you hit that overspeed button, he's not getting as big of an attack boost as the attacker characters like a Cloud, Sephiroth, Tifa, for example. And that's the one downside about these support character builds, right? If you hit that OD button, you're not going to get as big of a boost. You still get a boost from it. You'll get a physical attack, I think, percentage, like a small percentage, and actual boost to your P attack, but it's not as significant when you compare it to an attacker character. And then also the debuff, you get again like extra boost to buff and debuff extension, so that does kind of help for these type of characters because they do, you know, they're not only just doing damage, but they're also applying buffs and debuffs as well. But yeah, just something I wanted to get out of the way, which can kind of maybe diminish the build or diminish what you think about this banner and whatnot, since these characters aren't, yeah, specifically attacker characters. And overspeed does kind of make a significant difference. It's not massive, but you know, that damage boost is pretty good. Like 20% on Tifa with 10% like elemental damage. If you like max out the whole stream like I did, so I mean, it's pretty nice. But yeah, that is Cid. I think it's a pretty solid build. For me, I think it's a pretty easy skip though, because when it comes to these like debuffing builds, I don't know, these debuffing slash decent damage builds, these are weapons I just kind of like the wish list later. I mean, the costume is pretty good because you are getting that extra 20% damage now with the Arcanum, essentially. So that is good. I do recommend it, though, if you just want Magic Lightning. You're really lacking on Magic Lightning, you can go for it. But I'd say it's not, like, super necessary either, and you can still, you know, kind of just wishlist the weapon later if you're not dying to pull on something like this right now. You know, Magic Lightning is going to be good for this battle ranking that's going on right now. We're not sure when it's going to return later, right? It might just be very particular to this battle ranking, but we already had a guild battle associated with Magic Lightning, so it's probably not going to do anything with that. The next upcoming guild battle. I mean, yeah, it could. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Cid. I think it's a good setup, but something that's kind of easily skippable for me, in my opinion. But now let's go to Lucia. In this costume, oh my. Wow. So, Lucia's costume, the dealer's tailcoat. I've seen kind of some mixed reaction on this. I was watching the Ever Crisis unofficial Discord, like as the you know, the banners were coming out, and there was a lot of what the hell? I hate this costume. Like, give her some pants. What is going on? And others are saying like, yo, you know, I'm kind of simping right now. Like they're really kind of yeah, sexualizing Lucia right here. But yeah, what do I think of it? I think it looks pretty good. Not gonna lie, kind of simping for Lucia right now. I think it looks solid. You got the little top hat, the coat, and obviously, you know, everything else. But yeah, let's go into this costume here. The dealer's tailcoat. Dealer's tailcoat. Does this mean she's like kind of like a casino dealer or something? I don't know. All right, physical magic ward plus 15%. Great. Pretty much the same thing Cid got. And then same thing Tifa got for her banner. So she got Earth ability damage plus 30%, 20% physical ability damage. So very strong costume when it comes to physical Earth damage, which means the Rifle of the Hunt is a physical Earth weapon. So if we go into this, we're doing 390% physical Earth damage to a single enemy. Earth resist is decreased low to mid. And then when 50% HP or more, physical defense is decreased low to mid. So you are getting two different debuffs here while also doing physical Earth damage. Your R abilities at OB1 are 32-15 for P attack and physical ability potency. You're getting P attack sigil boost. Pretty solid. And then you are getting 450% damage now. A little extra duration on the debuffs. OB6, you're going up to 550% physical earth damage with mid to high on the earth resist now. And then you're getting mid to high on the physical defense debuff. So mid to high on these two is actually really, really nice. Physical attack, 40-27 on the physical attack, physical ability potency. OB10, we're at 620% physical earth damage, 30 seconds on the earth resist debuff, mid to high still, and then mid to high on physical defense at 30 seconds as well. So, and 684 on the P attack. So yeah, this is pretty much a really solid earth debuffing build. This weapon is very similar to a weapon Yuffie got during the holidays, which was the holiday bells, but this is kind of the magic wind version of it. So for this weapon for Yuffie, it's the same percentage, magic wind damage 620%. It goes low to high on the wind resist though, and then low to high on the magic defense. So Lucia's is actually better because you're getting mid to high on these two debuffs while Yuffie has to cast it 3 times. But either way, since it is kind of a DPS weapon, you're going to just be using it constantly anyway. So it not going to high on either of these weapons for Cid and Lucia on the first cast is not a big deal because, they're like sub DPSs essentially, where you're going to be using the weapon constantly anyway. You're going to be using it more than twice, right? to get that high potency at OB6 or higher. So yeah, I like the Yuffie build when it came out, so I definitely do like this Lucia build too. It gives the physical earth team a lot of versatility now. So since she is doing earth resist decrease mid to high and physical defense mid to high, she's a really, really, really good secondary DPS now when it comes to aiding Tifa being the main DPS. Before I was saying, when Tifa came out, I was saying she is a great 1-2 punch with her and Yuffie, but now it's definitely Tifa and Lucia, because Tifa, obviously, she's doing all the damage, and she does that AoE Quake buff. So once she's doing the AoE Quake buff, Lucia's benefiting from that, but also Lucia's helping Tifa do more damage by doing earth resist down and physical defense down. So they kind of complement each other, and they're both just good damage dealers now. I mean, 620% is not a ton, but add in that Quake AoE buff that Tifa is going to give her, it's going to make her do even more damage. And that kind of gives you versatility with the team now. Now you won't have to run Angeal in the middle to be like that support that's doing the debuffing and the buffing, right? Now you can run like an Aerith, for example, that has like Kamara Wand and heals. So Kamara Wand, AoE physical attack up, and then she can heal with like something like Bahamut Rod or whatever. She has a ton of healing weapons. But yeah, or you could just throw in Matt in the middle. He can do physical attack up, single target with his the Stalwart Bravery one. So yeah, pretty much this build right here, I would say if you don't have Tifa, I would say if you have the choice between her and Tifa, obviously I still say go for Tifa. But if you have Tifa and you want this like nice secondary build right here, this is not bad. This is actually really, really solid. But also at the same time, if you have her Earth Arcanum costume, her old one, the magic one, well, it had magic attack and Earthblade Arcanum. You could still technically use that costume and just wishlist this weapon later. So there is that option as well. But this is better because you're getting that physical ability damage plus 20% on top of the Arcanum essentially. So yeah, that's what I think of Lucia. I think you should only go for her to kind of complement Tifa. I mean, if you have the choice between her and Tifa, I still say go for Tifa. And Tifa's banner is still up too right now. It's, it doesn't go away for a couple weeks. So yeah, for me personally, I think Cid is kind of skippable unless you just want to build a decent magic lightning setup, a good featured one. I think Lucia is kind of skippable as well because I think this is a great weapon. You can kind of just wishlist later. I mean, I guess, yeah, if you want to get the costumes to get the most out of these characters and these weapons, I mean, that's your decision to make. For me personally, I skip on most featured banners because of limited resources, because I know Applebot's not going to go on forever when it comes to these featured banners. I know they're just like dying right now. They probably like that the kid, the meme kid that's like looking at his computer screen with the veins sticking out, like they're dying. They just want to get in another limit break banner right now. So I know these featured banners aren't going to last forever, and this kind of gives me time to kind of save. And these are, like I said, these are banners are tied to the battle ranking right now, which battle ranking, you know, you don't have to really pull on these banners just to do good in battle ranking, unless you're like aiming for top 10 or something like that. For me, I always get top 50 in battle ranking with just the stuff I already have. I never pulled on a banner that's been associated with battle ranking before, so yeah, I just use what I already have. So that's how I feel about limited banners, or feature banners in particular. I think unless you get something that's really, really unique, really, really good, which doesn't really come very, very often, I can kind of hold off. You know, speaking from a free-to-play or light spending perspective, I'm more of a light spender in this game. As you can see, I'm only at, what, 30k crystals right now, and I'm just chilling. So, yeah, it's going to be a skip for me on both of these. I do... that Lucia costume, damn, man, I kind of want that. I'm simping, but I'm skipping, right? So, yeah. What do y'all think of these banners? I think they're pretty solid DPS / utility banners for these characters, but, you know, like I said, not super necessary. If we're going to the builds for these characters, for Cid, you can do something like Electro Cannon, Sawed Off GS, you're getting boost attack, magic ability potency. This one's magic attack, magic ability potency. If you want to get lightning potency, a good amount of lightning potency, you could do this one, SSR. Actually, since her main hand weapon doesn't have lightning potency, you might have to do 2 weapons that have lightning potency. So this is actually somewhat trickier than I thought. I thought this main one had lightning potency on it, but actually it's physical ability potency. So you'd have to do something, or no, that's Lucia's build. Oh yeah, for Cid, yeah, this is pretty straightforward because this one does have lightning potency. When it comes to Lucia's build, I might have to change that around a bit. But yeah, Electro Cannon, Sawed Off GS, and I think this weapon for Lucia. You could also do this weapon for Kate Sith, but you won't hit level 8 on lightning potency, but you will get a lot more boost attack. Offhand weapon is probably Radiant Lance, just because these R abilities are really good. You get boost attack and ability potency. And you can do this command gauge increase. That'll actually be really good for battle ranking as well, probably. So, there we go. That's probably the Cid build. If we go into the Lucia build, I would, you know, it's kind of similar to Tifa, where I think, you know, have weapons like enemy launcher, ceremonial sword, you get boost attack, boost physical attack, physical ability potency. This is boost attack, physical ability potency. Sequoia Dendron's a great one because you're getting earth potency with a boost attack. Hawkeye for Yuffie. You know, this is just in case, you know, a lot of these weapons might already be on your Tifa, but, you know, not all of them, though, that I have wishlisted here. Her offhand weapon's kind of tricky. You could just finish off, or you could work on physical ability potency with Marine Shooter, and you could do P attack down, but she has, like, so many weapons. I guess it just kind of depends on the scenario. She has, like, so many offhand weapons that can do stuff. This one is physical defense down, 3 ATB, but you won't need physical defense down. But it does have HP and boost ability potency. If you just want earth potency, you could honestly just throw this on there. You get 39. No. This one has boost attack as well, 46 points. This one, physical ability potency, 52 points, HP. So yeah, a lot of weapons here that could honestly offhand for Lucia here. It just kind of depends on the scenario for the battle. If for like escalation 30, for example, you're probably going to want this because of the P attack down. I know a lot of people, yeah, this build here for Lucia will probably make escalation 30 a lot more manageable, I feel, because you'll be able to DPS a lot faster with Lucia and Tifa at the same time. That's another reason why you'd probably get this build right now. But yeah, something like this. And yeah, I guess that kind of covers it for this video. I might have another video kind of covering all this other content right now. Spoiler alert, I already did the summon quest for Odin. I did EX2, almost auto-battled it. It was essentially the same as Escalation 15, I think. That's pretty much what I compared it to. It was pretty easy. They didn't even change the battle. It's the same as the Escalation battle. So Odin, he was kind of a breeze, and I'm glad that summon's out right now. So now we actually have a wind summon in this game for our wind builds. They also added a lot of other stuff going on right now. They have a 5th anniversary of FF7 Remake. That's pretty amazing. So we get 156 gacha tickets from the campaign. If you go to the missions, campaign, just do all this stuff. Pretty much just use a character one time in every battle. They added, oh yeah, chocobos. We can change out our chocobos real quick. I guess I'll run through this content update real quick. It's kind of a content update and a banner review, right? Why not, right? So if we go in here, let's change our chocobo expeditions. Well, we're going to collect first. Okay. Chocobo stable. No, right? We got to go to expeditions. Expedition areas. So we go all the way down. We have Corel, Gold Saucer, and Gold Saucer 2. So we actually have new chocobo areas. So go ahead and set that up right now. How do I do that? I'll do it after the video. But yeah, go ahead and set your chocobos so you can get new materials and stuff. Summon battles, like I said, there's battle ranking going on right now. There's also the egg hunt event. They added new content as well as new stuff in the exchange. So if you go in here, go to the exchange, there are green eggs now, and you can get Cid weapon parts as well as the typical stuff, the ingots, the ore, and all the other farmable stuff. Flower crown, you can now get this weapon for Cid, Lance of the Hunt. What does it do? Just AoE magic, ice damage, HP, ice potency, typical free weapon. Then you get gacha tickets, you get memories, attacker and tanks, gacha tickets, typical exchange event stuff. Alright. And battle ranking, I will probably have a video on that maybe tomorrow or in a couple days, kind of giving you basic strategy for that. And I think that pretty much covers it for this content update in Ever Crisis. Big mouthful there. So what are y'all gonna do? Are y'all gonna pull on Cid or Lucia, or both, or not both, skipping? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate y'all watching my content, supporting me. And yeah, if you could, please give this video a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one. Later.